Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I am your host, Dylan Cooper, the constant host over here.
Gavin Franklin.
Guys, we're here this week to review Wolfsbane.
Guy
Guy
Haley.
Haley. That's the guy.
Every time. Who is this by? It's Guy
Yeah.
Haley.
Before we get
That's
into
a
it, though,
book.
Gavin, what you got for me? What are you drinking?
This is a good one. So this is another mead. I think you would like this one a lot. It is from Artisan Meadery, which is up here, I think in Ohio. Yeah. They're the same ones that do the
Banana Foster?
Banana Foster. This one is called Stranger Beings.
Ooh.
Bings. It's just cherry and spices. I don't know. Am I missing something? Why is it called Beings? Is that a cherry thing?
What was the whole name again?
Stranger Beings. Like it's a knockoff on Stranger Things, but it's Bings.
Bings? Beans.
Like Stranger Beings.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking like beans. Beins.
Yeah. And the back is like, it says, "Don't be a mouth breather." And it's got cherry pie with the Christmas lights. So they're super knocked off Stranger Things here. I don't know, like, could it be like, oh, bee, like it's a bee, like instead of things it's beings, but like bee is because meat is made from honey. Am I stretching?
But maybe
Am I stretching?
you're trying to make it make sense, man, and it just doesn't fucking make sense.
It's very good. But yeah, I don't know why beings is a thing. I'm assuming it's because bee, like beings, but maybe I'm fucking maybe I'm so super far off.
I'm sure they're watching this like this fucking idiot.
This guy. What are you drinking today?
So I am drinking from Three Floyds Brewing, a favorite of the podcast. And I saw this and I was like, this name is kind of what this story is. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
I am drinking the Space Station Middle Finger.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And it has a space station flipping you off, which is kind of what Lehman Rush tried to do, and then it ended up being Horace doing the flipping off.
That's awesome. How is it? Is it like an IPA?
It's actually really good. It's not super hoppy. It's actually really good.
Awesome. Dude, Three Floyds just makes like
Always
they make
knock it out of the
all
park.
kinds of crazy shit. They're like making a new thing every other week, it feels like.
Yeah, I always see something different from them. I'm like, fuck. But the problem is it's always expensive. So I'm like, do I want to spend $20 for this 4 or 6 pack?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I get you. So before we jump into it.
Oh yeah, we have our housekeeping. Check us out on Discord. We have movie nights. We have hobby time. And we have us shooting the shit. You can find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. You can email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. You can go to YouTube, watch our videos. It's just the podcast. Like, subscribe to those. We have a battle report on there. It's old and outdated, but hey, it's there. It exists.
When the Hammerheads came out, and it was the only thing that ignored involves.
Yeah. No, everything does, except for Grey Knights.
Exactly.
Grey Knights like, oh, you ignore Involts? That's cool. I don't. Involts if just fuck my asshole.
Yeah, Thousand Suns don't ignore Involts either. We just do Mortal Wounds instead, which apparently is ignored by everyone in the meta right now.
The dream. But go over there, check that out. We have merch. Check it out. I'll have it in the show notes.
Love the shirt.
Thank you. I didn't design it. This one was designed by Beth. Thank you, Beth.
By our Discord members. Super humbling, super awesome. Where has Beth been? Has Beth been in the Discord recently?
Yeah,
hiatus.
Her and Fallen have been on a WoW kick recently.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I mean, it kind of happens every once in a while to the best of us, I feel like.
Nope, not me.
I tried to get you into World
You tried, couldn't get it.
Yeah. I feel like you probably would have enjoyed Classic a lot more.
I think if I would have got into it like when it was in its heyday, I think I would have like really got into it, but I was poor and only played RuneScape. So
yeah, you got really into RuneScape.
Yeah, and every now and again it drives me back. Kind of like how WoW always does to you. Like it'll be like I'll
It's
have
been
like
years.
2 weeks where I'm like, I gotta fucking play, and I'll play the shit out of it. And like, man, this game fucking sucks, and I won't play it again for like 3 years.
When they released Classic, I was sucked in for about a month. But other than that, it's been years. Like I played like a little bit in BFA, which is like two things back, two expansions back now. I don't know. So yeah, it's been a while since I went back to it. But I played League of Legends yesterday, which was like a super big throwback for me.
Yeah, we used to spend so much time playing League of Legends together.
Got my butt kicked. I was playing with like some like challenger tier people. And I was like jungling. I was like, this is great. These monsters
Hey guys,
don't
I'm dead
stand a
again.
chance. But it was a fun time.
Good to hear it. All right, Gavin. Wolfsbane.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it in the preview. We got kind of two stories going on that don't really intersect, really. So, do you just want to like knock out calls first and then go to the main part of the story?
Yeah, they don't intersect at all. It was super frustrating. Like well, they kind of do, but it's not
But not
important.
really. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can do calls first. Because I do think his story is like the B side. Um,
However, I think it's more interesting.
yeah, I kind of like it more because I like Call's character.
Yeah, I agree. He's very human
Yeah, very down
for
to
a
earth.
mechanicum.
He really seems to come off as like the Loken character of this novel. It's like they were like, okay, we've got a bunch of space wolves and they wear leather and do some weird shit. So no one here is at a level of level-headedness to provide the reader with like a point of view. So like we have to make a whole new story with Call, and then it was like perfect. Years later, they made Primaris, and it all worked out.
Yeah, they're like,
But
hey,
yeah,
there's this character that is like there in 40K. We should introduce him somewhere.
exactly. So yeah, he comes in on the scene, and we get introduced to him because he's having a debate with his Mechanicum ally about whether or not they should continuously augment themselves as much as the Mechanicum does. It calls on the side that they should not. Personally, I think the Mechanicum's just kind of dumb as shit most of the time. They're like a lot of the stuff they do. I'm like, why are you putting that on your body? You
Yeah,
don't need the
what I
suction
find
3000.
weird about like the differences in like all the writers is like when you talk about like Iron Hands and they talk about like the ones like aren't as augmented, they're like, oh yeah, like they're kind of like more human and shit like that. But like with Mechanicum, none of them seem really any different. It's just like, oh yeah, that's just another robot guy.
Yeah, one of them has the suction 3000, and one
One
of them
has
does not.
titty fucking babies.
Titty babies. Yeah,
Several of them apparently. Just like a fucking like whole udder of them.
they're basically udders of titty babies. So his entire story basically revolves around the fact that he believes he has a very separate belief system from pretty much everyone, because he believes in the emperor being the omniscient conceptually, but he also believes that they should be doing research of their own, which is super illegal because the emperor said it was.
Yeah, he's
So
very kind of philosophical. Whereas like, he like yes, like I think the Emperor is the Omnissiah, but it's almost like he may like what's the one that's like all knowing? Omniscient? That omnipotent's all
omnipotent.
powerful? Yeah. One's all
Yeah,
knowing, one's all powerful.
I think it's omnipotent is all knowing.
Yeah, I think he thinks the opposite of the Emperor. Like he's the all powerful, but maybe not the all knowing. He's like, as Mechanicum, it's our job to be the all knowing.
Omnipotent is having unlimited power,
Yeah. So I think he thinks the Emperor is omnipotent.
but not omniscient.
Yes. The other one.
Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, um, omniscient. I'm
Omniscient.
oh my god, I'm just gonna sound so fucking dumb.
Everyone's like sitting there in their cars right now listening to like these fucking morons.
We clip this part out. I just had to Google this.
I had to Google it.
I Googled it, guys. Oh my god.
And we still don't know which one's right.
So I do think that Call's like opinion on this is one of the main themes of this book is hypocriticalism. And I think Call himself is very hypocritical in the fact that he's like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this augmented shit, but also we should be researching and figuring out our own shit, which is against what he's kind of like picking and choosing the parts of the Mechanicum society that fit his ideologies.
Yeah, which I mean, it's kind of like every new religion gets created.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, you know, I kind of like this idea. But what if, now hear me out, what if I could also marry 8 bitches?
That's literally how I think like modern day Christianity came around. I was like, but what if like I could divorce my wife?
All right, now hear me out. I've been watching a lot of South Park recently, so any of our Mormons, I'm really sorry. But what if I just look in a hat and I can read these golden plates, and they say, I'm actually a prophet. I deserve 12 wives, and dicks on the inside. Weird.
Oh my gosh. Somebody sign me up. 12 wives and dicks on the inside.
Now that's a religion right there.
Oh, we worship Nicolas Cage and his dicks on the inside. Dicks on the inside is important, but I feel like we're not focusing enough on the guns on the outside part, which is the other mirroring half of the religion that we are creating today.
That's a separate religion.
And so we're really the antithesis of the dicks on the inside religion.
We're really good at coming up. Didn't we create a fucking religion like super early on?
Did we?
Oh no, this was before the podcast. I think it was like me, you, and Connor.
The Phoenix.
Yeah, the
Phoenix Lords. Yeah. So Call has like these ideas where he's picking apart. He's like, yeah, we can study and do whatever he wants. He's been doing some illegal practices where he's like creating a brain, part of his brain to where he gets more memory is essentially what it is.
Yeah, he's just enhancing the hard drive.
Yeah, that's basically what he's doing.
Which is barely illegal.
That's fucked up. But titty bats approved.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you do that? That's fucking hot.
You want a better CPU though? Ooh, that's some dark Mechanicum shit. I would like, what is their like line? You know, the line that they make up is like, if it's been discovered, then like it's okay. And I want to know who was discovering the titty bats and made it all right. And then no
how
one
many
was
more
like,
there are.
I can imagine you get like they're in the Mechanicum like science labs, right? Like, sir, we're running out of data storage. Well, it's because 90% of our mechanical thralls are working on titty bat technology.
What if we just enhance the brand? No, we can't do that, sir. That hasn't been invented yet.
On the titty bats. Priority number 1.
Yeah, what Collodian's fine. But increasing some extra storage is that is very frowned upon.
Whoa, that's super fucked up. Clearly the Mechanicum are thinking with their dicks.
More titty bats, please. It's just so arousing.
We have so many spider legs everywhere. Some of them was really fucked up at one point.
Yeah, she's like a fucking almost like a spider snake cow.
Centipede cow?
Maybe a centipede. Maybe a centipede.
I imagined. Have you ever saw like Monsters University?
Yeah.
You know the like dean, where she's like a centipede. That's what I imagine this will look like with like metal udders.
Yeah. So for those that haven't caught up, we are talking about Sigma, whatever, the Damina of the rock that Cal's on.
Yeah, so Cal's on this like rock where they're collecting space dust.
No, dude, there's like minerals or something.
Space mineral dust. Yeah. but they're having to fight.
Gemstones. Totally
So
just gemstones.
they go and like collect it into this, in this. It's a giant like gas giant, from what I understand.
Sure.
And but also there's aliens that live in the gas
Right, they're
giant.
like alien bugs, which
And
honestly I thought they were like scarabs at first, like Necron scarabs.
yeah.
But I don't think that's what they were.
And then like Belisarius is piloting these drones that are also, everything in the Mechanicum has a brain, but he's taking over the brain and piloting this like attack drone to fight off these aliens while the rest of the Mechanicum are collecting space dust.
Yeah,
That's his job. That's what he does.
pretty much.
And he has this like issue because he keeps bouncing around to all these different worlds and all these different trades, and he hasn't picked one yet. And he's worried that the Mechanicum are going to figure out that he hasn't signed up for a job.
He is definitely working off welfare checks.
You got to pull your weight, Belisarius. What's going on here?
Come on, man. There's a war going on. God damn it. He's like, I'm going to skip this draft.
Belisarius is the actual definition of like a modern day college student. He went in undefined. He's probably going to end up majoring in history at the end.
Yeah, there's a good possibility. The only difference is he has no debt, probably.
He's changed majors 13 times. He's either going to be history or a psychology major when he comes out of it. Oh,
He may or may not get a job.
yeah, leaning a certain way. I think he's going to end up being a servitor, which was threatened multiple times.
It sure was.
Yeah. So it's like, Belisarius, your degree in psychology is not paying out. I think we're going to have to lobotomize you.
Whoa. Well, how do you feel about that?
How do you feel about
I know I don't have my master, so I can't like have a real session, but tell me, how do you feel?
So he at one point takes over all of the attack drones in order to fight off a giant bug.
Yeah.
And that was illegal.
So and like he got like mobbed. Like there was like a whole mob that was like attacking them. And he's just like, please fucking stop. My head hurts so bad. And you're all pussies.
And then the centipede cow came and saved him and took him to her like private chambers where she derobed. And
she was having flower too.
I was having a really good time with that chapter.
Babe, go to the other room. I need to find the lotion.
I'm on Amazon looking up centipede outfits.
This is what I want you to wear on the night of our wedding.
Centipede and some cow udders.
It's not complete without the udders. Come on.
Can you just say for the Omnisaya? So he does not donate. He does not get attached to the Ultra Sucker 9000 that you know she's got. But she basically makes him like in training, like
she gives him a promotion, and he's like, "Fuck."
He was like, "You're really smart. Like you figured this shit out. Like you're advancing your hard drives, and we haven't had hard drive technology advancement in years."
Have you ever seen Blue Mountain State?
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it. Yes,
the whole thing is Alex Moran. He's the backup quarterback. He's like really fucking good, but his entire goal for all of college is to stay the backup quarterback because it's like, look, I'm on the team. I can tell the girls I'm a quarterback. The girls want to fuck me, and I don't have to fucking play football, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
that's Cal.
That's absolutely what he's doing here. He's trying to spread the words. Like maybe we augment less. Just throwing it out there. He's like really pushing the Mechanicum in a certain direction.
You guys are doing weird shit at night, and like, why all the spider shit? Why
much spider shit? There's so many udders and centipede legs. Like, what if? Hear me out.
We just had boobs. Two boobs, 2 legs.
It really works out. Two's the number. Where's the Omnisaya? Emperor protects. So he gets promoted, and basically immediately after his promotion, they get word that Horus is attacking the area, and it's supposed to be like a staging ground for Sigma
Gammon,
Sigma Beta Gammon.
Beta Gammon.
Yeah, which we're pretty sure is the plot line of Titan Death. I'm like 90% sure.
That's what I've been told.
And this Sigma or Beta Gammon, Sigma Beta Gammon Alpha has been it's been kind of like pumped up ever since Corax. So it's been.
I can't wait for Titan Death to suck, because it's all gonna be fucking Titan battles, and we're just gonna be like, son of a bitch.
So Horus is about to have his entire strike force, and Dawn sent a strike force, and Titan 1 fires laser, Titan 2 goes off the void shields. What's going to happen next? Titan 2 refires his laser, Titan 1.
Yes, and the person inside is having a stroke, but the person next to them has the Super Sucker 3000 attached, so everything's okay. Shoot the bolters.
I feel like this is turning into an infomercial for the Super Sucker 3000.
Look, if you haven't made, we'll sponsor us. We're not going to sponsor you. We can afford to sponsor you.
Are you stuck in a Titan battle? Super Sucker 3000's there to help. He'll get you through all those stressful situations.
You'll be pleased. The Titan will be pleased, and god damn it, you will kill them traitors.
In the grim dark future, there is only one corner that is a bright light, and that is the Super Sucker 3000. Oh geez. So you can immediately, when Horus goes, he says, listen, it's not Horus, it's his what's the girl's name? Sodanul.
Yeah.
She comes out on, I'm pretty sure it's spider legs. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on.
I'm pretty sure too.
Yeah, and she's all like, join Horus because we will let you research forbidden technology. And like everything smells and looks weird.
Yeah.
For
but no one knows, because like none of them have fucking noses except for a call. And he's like, guys, it fucking smells like asshole in here.
They got rid of their noses. It's an unessential function. I think it's what I think is so crazy about this, right? Is like Horus and the Dark Mechanicum are like, all right, we're finally free to like research whatever we want. And they're like, two things are a priority: spider legs and projection images. We gotta have the crispest fucking projection images you can imagine. I mean, it's gotta feel and look like and smell like we are right there. Oh man.
God damn it, they do it.
They killed those projection images. I mean, it was so realistic. I've read an entire 2 pages about how realistic these projection images were.
We sure fucking did.
But it didn't sell. The Mechanicum there was like, no, we're not gonna deal with that projection image sorcery. There's like a thing of Cain
too, and he's like, listen here, I am your fabricator general, and the other guy's a fucking poser bitch.
He's like a poser bitch. He's like, he's on Terra. He's being a little bit. It
wasn't nominated through the ways of the Mechanicum. He's a bitch.
And then all the Mechanicum in the space rock dust area were like, listen,
he's not wrong.
I mean, he's not wrong, but I really like your projector setup, but we have hit missiles or whatever those things are. We are set.
Tit bats.
We've never been better. We got the Super Sucker 3000. We got the tit bats. We don't even need your projection images or your spider legs. We got the centipede legs. Way superior. Far superior.
Smaller, and there's more of them.
You idiots, Dark Mechanical fools.
More legs equals better. It's just fucking simple math.
I didn't see a single toaster in that projection image. So they initially decline, but it's important to know that Belisarius's leader, Sigma Sigma, is that her name?
Something Sigma Sigma.
It's in here. Give me just 1 second. Yeah, it's actually just Sigma Sigma. Hester Aspertia Sigma Sigma. She's also the leader of all of the like battle automaton
Yeah.
that are there, which I think is pretty fucking important. She just starts like walking off. And if I was like the leader of the area, I'd be like, somebody figure that shit out. Like, why did she just leave?
Yeah, why is she just fucking off?
She's like really important, and she also mind controls every single one of our battle automaton, which I think is a very bad idea and a super big vulnerable point.
Yeah, there's not really a good failsafe there, huh?
She just literally mind controls all the Skatari. She operates all the Skatari at the same time.
But
Wow.
hey, fucking Call gets in trouble for mind controlling some fucking drones.
Yeah, the rules.
Skatari are actual fucking people.
They really are. Well, I think the drones are actual people. I don't think like the Mechanicum owns robots at all. I think that they're all people.
That's fucking whack. The whole
It
thing's
is whack.
The more we're talking about this, the more bullshit this sounds.
I agree. The Mechanicum's out there. They're fucking wackos. Like as long as it's got a brain that we can control with our
Yeah, we have to be able to
robots,
control that.
we're good. So Horus does eventually attack. This is where it kind of starts tying into the other story, but the Mechanicum and Call have to pledge their allegiance to Horus or they die. But Call hatches an escape plan because he's not dealing with that shit. He literally saw like what Horus was and everyone. He was like, fuck that. That's what happened.
Yeah, 100%. He's like, everyone's like doing like their like loyalty to him, and he's like, bro, what the fuck? And, like everyone just starts staring at him because he's the last one left. He's like, yeah, me too.
There's literally like that has to be like the most realistic reaction to what would happen if Horus shows up. He's all like demon painted, his face is all fucked up. Abaddon's just shooting people for fun. He would be like, yeah, totally, I'm on your side. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Where's the ships?
These guys are fucking nuts. But Belisarius makes a really great statement. Probably my favorite statement in the entire Horus Heresy that wasn't a badass line, where he was talking to his friend. He was like, we got to get out of here. And he was like, well, are you sure like Horus are the bad guys? Like, don't you think the Emperor
yes,
is also a bad guy? And then Belisarius is like, in this war, there is only who is like less bad. That's what he says.
Yeah.
It's not about who's good or bad. It's like who's less bad than the other people. And I'm like, 40K in a nutshell. Like, you just described Warhammer in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can see like some chaos fuckery and be like, oh, that's what I'm gonna be on. It's like,
I fuck with that.
he just grew a tentacle out of his asshole. Huh. Yeah, that's what I want.
I'm interested. Show me more. Show me more.
What can I do with that tentacle?
Back this up. Wait a minute. Belisarius, hear him out.
Where's that super sucker? I got it. I need to see something.
Chaos has the super sucker 4,000.
Oh fuck! I'm convinced.
Shit. we just roped in the entirety of the Mechanicum.
Slanesh is just like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, well, we found the SCP for Super Sucker 4,000. Sold.
That's all you needed to say.
Do you remember? I don't remember. I don't know if this is ever going to come out. Do you remember like what actually the SCP that convinced Regulus to like
an STL?
STL. Yeah, STL that like convinced, was it Regulus?
Yeah, it was something stupid. It was like an armor plate or something.
I thought it was like an energy thing, like a way
battery.
Yeah, it was like a way to generate a ridiculous
Maybe
amount
it
of
was
energy.
like, and it wasn't even like a full one. It was like a half of one.
Yeah, and that's what like prompted Mechanicum. That's what prompted this whole thing. And we're like, where are we now? Could we have gone without the battery? Let's take a step back and think how far we've walked or strayed for the battery, or the metal plate. Like really.
Do you think if Mars stayed loyal, Horus would have had a chance?
Probably not all.
Yeah, I don't think
I mean,
so. I mean,
does
he would
Horse
lose
have a
so
chance?
many resources.
Does Horse even have a chance now? You know,
Kind of. I mean,
but like ever since Vulcan did his shit, it's like your best bet's a tie.
well, look, I'm gonna go back to this.
Go
Just
back.
fucking blow up Terra. Don't even board it. Just fucking blow
That's
it up.
true. That's so true. Like
Oh,
let's
hold on.
rethink everything.
We have like maybe 4 Primarchs there. I don't know because apparently Vulcan no longer exists. But if we just blow it up.
Oh man. Just like imagine like you get the still pics of all the Primarchs at Terra, like with their hands over each other's shoulders, and they just Photoshop out Vulcan. We forgot to write about that guy.
You actually like see him in like the back, like running Nephius. He's like late to the picture, but everyone just ignores he's even there. Sorry, dude, picture's gone.
Oh man. Well, and that's a good point. You know, you have the idea that this entire heresy is like over the top. Because that's a really good segue into Lehman Russ's storyline, which in my opinion
real
is
quick,
so over the top.
Colin, his friend, they kill Sigma.
Oh, it's true.
Her ship, and actually, them leaving was the fucking funniest thing I think I've read in a while because, like, it's how I would imagine like us if we were like escaping
so
flying a ship and we're just fucking screaming like, "What the fuck? This is crazy!"
At one point, it's like I love that they're like, "Oh yeah, it's work capable," and it has a navigator. And friend's like, "Well, what are we gonna do about the navigator?" And Belisarius like, I'll talk to them. It's like, you can't just talk to them. And literally one line is like, turns out he could have just talked to him. That's literally the line that he wrote. Turns out he was right. Yeah. Belisarius walked in like, so we're in the middle of a Space Wolf and Luna Wolf battle. There's like a bunch of fucking bombs going on around us. How do you feel about getting out of here? The navigator was like, look, fucking
this shit's
sold.
crazy. And like, I don't want to fight. I'm a pussy.
So we killed Sigma. Great. Let's go. I've been waiting for this day for fucking years. Did she take her clothes off around you too? Yeah, what a fucking lie.
Don't worry. I shot all those fucking teats.
Thank God. They had spider legs. Did you see
he
that
he took a teat with him too. He's carrying a teat around with him.
That's true. He does have an organic teat just walking around. He put it in like a mason jar.
It's safe in here.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's the end of Call's story. Lehman Russ. Talk about over the top. So Lehman Russ starts the story off. We get like reintroduced to Vulcan.
No, we don't.
Who goes, well, we don't?
We don't see Vulcan in this story.
Not Vulcan. I'm so sorry.
Vulcan doesn't exist anymore.
Loken, not Vulcan. So Loken comes in, tells the story of what happens on the Vengeful Spirit. And Lehman Russ is like, can I beat my brother? And Logan's like, no.
Fuck, no, you can't, dude.
That guy's fucking crazy. We should just like hit him with a bomb.
Hey, hear me out. We take all of our big ships. We shoot all of our missiles at his ship because he's not going to leave that ship.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Sanguinius would be like, no. Their ships can grow guns. There's no success.
You don't want to board them either. You don't know what's inside there.
I've been inside. I've been outside. There is no win. This is a lose-lose situation. You're gonna run into one of two things, and both of them are not fun to experience.
It's either gonna grow a gun, but wait, there's more. There's gonna be a fuck ton of dicks on the inside.
There's dicks all over the place. They were touching my feet. I was battling Nicolas Cage, guys. I'm in some fucking shit.
He said, "Look at me," and I was like, "I can't. There's too many dicks."
Look at me. He's got like a cage of bees around his head. Crazy shit going on. There's dicks all over the wall. Look at me. I can't.
Do you see what's behind you?
So many dicks. Oh man. So Lehman Russ is like, all right, fine. You're saying I can't beat him, but I think I can. So he goes to the Council of Terra, where all the Primarchs but Vulcan shows up, including Sanguinius. And like the Sanguinius
He has his
arrives.
rival.
Yeah, so Sanguinius is like every time he like shows up, the way it's written is just like, and Sanguinius showed up. Like that's how it was written in Unremembered Empire.
He lands and he flies away to the highest point of the mountain. Like, all right, cool.
Like in Unremembered Empire, we read at the end of, was it Fear to Tread?
Yeah, when he shows
like,
up
oh,
at
yeah, oh, Gilliman found Sanguinius. Literally, like the last like page of Unremembered Empire is like, and then Sanguinius showed up. It was like, fuck it, I'm Sanguinius. I'm the new emperor. That was what was written about Sanguinius.
Basically,
like, what a crazy important plot point that they decided not to even roll with. And here, Wolfsbane, Sanguinius shows up, and it was like, and Sanguinius showed up, and he flew to the palace. It was like, let's have a meeting. And then he didn't say anything, and then that was Sanguinius's like entire purpose.
Dorn's sitting there, is like, all right, guys, hear me out.
Poor Dorn.
We are getting fucked everywhere. However, like, there's like one strong point. It's called Beta Gammon.
Sigma Alpha.
Maybe Omega. We just set up a big blockade there and we just fucking kill Horus. Everyone's like, yeah. And then Lehman was like, what if I just go fucking fight Horus?
Check this out.
Fight myself.
I got another plan. I'm gonna go back to Fenris and jump in a sulfur pit, and I'm gonna come out and go kill Horus and his flagship with 4 ships.
But don't worry, I'm also going to lose all of my important rune priests while I'm in the fucking pit.
Thorn's like, okay, not only is that the stupidest shit I think I've ever heard in my entire fucking life, so dumb, but also you're going to use Rune Priest, you hypocritical bitch. And Lehman Russ is like, maybe. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but wasn't it funny what we did to Magnus?
I mean, but Magnus kind of deserved it. And Dorn's like, oh, no, I agree. But so do you, you fucking bitch.
Yeah,
Stop
but then like everyone like
shit.
brings up like the same points, like like the Emperor and Malkador are like the 2 strongest psychers in the Imperium, and like none of us are stopping them from using their fucking powers.
Malkador's just listening. Like he doesn't like he's over there, like I can imagine him. He's like, oh fuck. I was really hoping no one ever said that. I was hoping that would just slide under the rug.
They noticed?
Holy shit, that's totally right. I didn't think they were gonna say anything.
They're kind of fucking stupid.
No, psychers are really bad except us. You found out?
Yeah, we're like totally cool. And then like, so we have this. Lehman's like, yeah, well, I'm going. And Dor's like, please no. Please don't.
It actually gets to the point where he starts begging him.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Lehman watching like the floating like it's like being like taken apart. And Vador shows up. He's like, we got you. Well, fuck. I want to talk about the Malkador part first. He has a game of Regicide with Malkador.
Which is like chess, right? From what I understand.
It has to be. I don't know what else the fuck Regicide is. I don't know. I assume chess. But apparently, like, Lehman Russ and Malkador are very close. We talked about this in the preview, too. Like, Lehman Russ talks about how, like, maybe more people should tell the Emperor that he's a fucking moron. And he's kind of a hypocrite. I
love that scene where Malkador's like, watch out, that's pretty heretical. He's like, oh, good fuck. Like, what are you gonna do? Kill me? It's like, listen, I'm a math teacher in the middle of a teacher shortage. You gonna fire my ass?
That's gonna suck for you.
We got 4 Primarchs here, and I'm about to bail to go fight some. You just gonna kill me? Like, what's gonna happen, dude? Yeah, remember you kind of made us superhumans and we have to fight your enemies, and you're telling me I can't say the Emperor's being a little bitch one day? Like, come on.
Yeah, so we find that out. It was a really cool conversation. I honestly, like, I would read the book just for that scene. So I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it was a good scene.
Then we go to him watching the floating continent being taken down. Vador shows up and gives him back his fucking spear.
Yeah. So let's talk about the spear real quick, because I didn't actually finish Two Metaphysical Blades. I have like 5 minutes left of it. I didn't wrap it up, but essentially the concept is these two spears were created for these two individuals. One was for Valdor and one was for Lehman Russ. There wasn't a lot more insight that I got from Two Metaphysical Blades. What I do understand though is like Valdor uses his spear all the time. And what Valdor's spear does is it kind of like shows the life of the people he kills to Valdor as he's killing them. And the Emperor gave it to Valdor because the Emperor was like, you're getting like scary good at killing, bro. That's actually like the reasoning. He was like, you need to slow down. So here's a little bit of sorrow with your killing. And it turns out Valdor just didn't give a shit. He went and killed more people.
Yeah, that guy's a bitch.
But Valdor was there when Lehman Russ was granted his spear after the Ring of Fire, which is like a trial that the Space Wolves went through, where they lost like a third of their legion, which is like kind of a joke because like what does that even mean? Like,
yeah,
like people are losing a third of their legion every other chapter now. Apparently, like it's just whatever.
Raven Guard still have 12 guys.
Yeah, but then like next book they've got 3,000 again, and then they lose a third of their legion. It's like great. So, and that's a point I want to talk about too about this book. It's how frustrating that is. But essentially, the spear that Lehman Russ gets, like when he received it, he had a vision about his death and the pain and misery that like resolves in the end of the Horus Heresy. And Lehman Russ and Two Metaphysical Blades just like straight up refuse to use it. I think that's talked about very well in Wolfsbane. I don't think Two Metaphysical Blades is a required read to go into this. But I do like it in the sense that, like, if you read it before, at least you know what the spear is. Because if you go into Wolfsbane, like, it talks about
never
how
mentioned once.
Yeah, it's like this spear is a really big deal to Lehman Russ. It's like, really? Because I've read like 2 books about Lehman Russ and it never talked about the spear.
Yeah.
So he tries to leave it on Terra after his talk with
Just
Malphador.
keeps showing up.
Yeah, and then Valdor shows up and is like, all right, bitch. Take your spear back. Yeah, and everyone's trying to talk him out of going to try and fight Horus, which makes a lot of sense because his legion's like decimated.
It's decimated from the fight with the Alpha Legion. Also, the chances are he's going to go against fucking 4 or 5 other legions that may or may not have their Primarchs there too.
Yep.
What the fuck's he gonna? What was he gonna do if Portoravo, Fulgrim, Angron, Horus, and
Lorgar?
Yeah, oh yeah, Lorgar too.
Who can fight a bloodthirster?
Alfarius. What it like? He walked in and all 6 of them are standing there, and he's like, "Oh shit! I only want to fight Horus here."
You guys just stand at the side. Well, here's the thing: like knowing how Warhammer works, I'm sure they would have stood to the side to watch them fight.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we got to watch this epic battle of destiny because destiny and the word.
Except for Angron.
Angron like,
fucking rip his face off.
Fuck destiny. I am destiny, bitch.
Blood for the blood god, skull for the skull throne.
Angron is quickly becoming my like favorite Primarch because he's just there's no shit. There's no like filler with Angron. It's I'm gonna fucking smack you really hard.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't care about destiny. Like whatever.
Yep. Big fan of him.
But yeah, so Lehman Russ ends up leaving. He goes back to Fenris, where he performs like a crazy ritual act to determine how to defeat Horus. But on the way there, he has like a conversation with Kavir. Is it Kavir? What's his name? Kiva. About like how he got the spear and what happened when he got the spear. And I don't know if you like remember, but when you're reading it, there are multiple times that he talks about the Second Legion.
Yeah.
One of the Lost Primarchs. And every time he starts fucking talking about it, it's like, and then the ship got really loud.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear what he's saying. I'm like, all right, fine.
That's fucking lame, but okay.
Like kind of a shit move. Like give me something at least, you know. But no, they decided not to. I was hoping there would be a lot more conversation in this book about the Lost Primarchs. because Horus and Leman Russ were there for the Second Legion, and they were there for the Last Legion. We know for a fact that Leman Russ had a big part in the whatever happened to the Second Legion, and Horus was there to witness it. And I felt like that would have been a really good conversation to them to have.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to like go into like fully like if you want to keep it a mystery, like whatever. But they could have like give a dog a fucking bone, man.
yeah, and it just kind of goes back to this is Games Workshop. They want to sell models, and people like to pretend to be the Second Legion. There's like 3 people in the world, and they don't want to lose out on that $400.
$400, dude. I've already spent like I think $800 on wall bidders.
So they don't want to lose out $2,400 because the 3 people that are collecting the Second Legion or whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever bullshit custom Legion they made.
I understand like having a Lost Legion. 2 though, like fucking come on, like
Yeah,
give us something.
make 1, or at least like
Yeah.
give an answer to 1.
Or a partial answer at least. Like we know Leman Russ did something with it, but like that actually hasn't even been fully confirmed.
Yeah.
Although I think First Heretic kind of confirmed most of that, but
yeah.
So he then goes and he has like a seance, or he goes into the underverse.
Yeah.
While his rune priests fight demons, and Bjorn just isn't allowed to look.
A lot of corn in here too.
Is it corn?
The 8 star, that's corn.
Oh yeah. Well, no, 8 stars I think is just like chaos, the chaos star.
No, because like each one has like their own number. Like corn is 8, Zinch is 9.
Yeah, but the chaos star
7.
itself is the 8-pointed star.
Yeah, but
Corn's number is 8, but like anytime you see the chaos star, it's like undivided.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because like corn has his own symbol.
Yeah, it's the fucking thingy.
Yeah, the chaos star is just like that 8-pointed star. So, but yeah, he goes in, he fights. He goes through a series of trials, which was actually kind of interesting to read about. Now, this was like a part of me that I'm like, again, I don't think Guy Haley like wrote the Space Wolves wrong or wrote Leman Russ wrong, because this, and to me, it was like the Viking part. Like it was cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. Like his trial was cool, but it was also one of those things where it was anticlimactic because like obviously he passes.
Yeah, when he was like, well, I haven't gotten my 4th trial. I'm like, well, I wonder if you'll get it.
Yeah.
And it works out, but then he has like a vision of himself. So one of the things that Leman Russ is debating this entire book is like, he's from Terra, but he's also from Fenris, but he's not Fenrisian, he's Terran.
Yeah.
So he's like having an identity crisis because the Fenrisian culture is so strong. If that makes sense, like they're like very cultured, that Viking-esque culture, that he feels like he's out of place. So he had a vision of like himself where he was like fully Terran and he looked completely different. And basically the Terran was like, this spear reveals the truth when you're hit by it.
I don't think it's the truth. I think it is what was it? Fuck. I mean, it's sure truth. It's like the best way, I guess.
Yeah, it's supposed to like reveal like
who you are or something.
The absolute truth in a sense.
Yeah.
So once he's figured this out, Leman Russ is like, all right, I'm ready to go.
I don't gotta kill Horus. I just gotta stick him.
Yeah, which I think is kind of lame. It's like, come on, bitch, just kill him.
Yeah.
So immediately he goes, and the pacing of this writing is so great. Like Guy Haley did such a good job with this pacing. Because as soon as it was like, okay, we're gonna go kill Horus, I'm like, great, I'm gonna read 6 chapters of them getting to Horus. Nope. Like next chapter is like, and then we're here at Horus.
Yeah, I will say like there's like a small like part like where they're getting there, and it was really cool where like they're like trying to like sneak in between like the sun and like this planet, and there's like a fucking solar flare comes through and like knocks out some of his fucking ships, and like the gravity of one planet like starts like taking all the ships down that like had lost all their fucking power. It's like that sounds like fucking science.
Yeah, it was really cool. The space battles were great because they were short and concise, and they had more interesting moments than just firing gun at another ship.
Yeah, I
You were
do
doing with
wish
solar
though
flares.
we would have gotten Horace's perspective when he found out the Space Wolves were there.
Yeah, we didn't get that. I would assume that Horace like just knew.
Ah, that bitch.
Yeah, I'd imagine Horace is like, oh, fucking fine. Horace did not like have any fear or seem to have fear when Lehman Russ confronted him. So they get into the vengeful spirit. They start blowing the shit up out of the vengeful spirit using all of the rune markers. We get another really interesting conversation with what is the guy's name? Not Bjorn. I mean in there. Bjor Tyfinger. It was one of my favorite conversations where he was talking about how like one of his like route members was like, hey, this legion has become corrupted and they're evil. And Bjorn was like, yeah, but aren't kind of all legions evil? Like, don't we all kind of suck? And he's like, what are you talking about? That's some heresy shit. He's like, yeah, but how do you think the people of Fenris would react if they knew that the Imperium could like correct their orbit and their planet wouldn't be such a shithole very easily, but Lehman Russ just kind of decided not to because he wanted it to be
what
hard?
If everyone could have electricity?
Like, did you know like we could do this, but like we're hurting these people? And he's like, yeah, but Lehman Russ wants the Legion to be hard. It's like, I kind of get that, but wasn't the Legion like originally populated by Terrans and it was like fine? Like, don't people like kind of forget where they came from when they become legionaries anyway? I don't know. It just seems like a stretch. The whole thing's like Bjorn has a really good point where he's like, oh no, like we're fucked up. Like we're killing thousands and thousands of people on
Yeah,
Fenris.
I'm sure Caliban doesn't want to be just fucking people fighting giant monsters all day.
Yeah. And they probably don't want to be like slave laborers and giant pyramids either.
Yeah, probably not, I would assume.
One of those somewhere in between, I think would be a happy median.
I mean,
But
honestly, as much as we give the word bearer shit, like their planet was probably the coolest to be a part of.
you had to participate in a religion in order to be
Yeah,
a
but I mean
part of
that's
it.
like all cults, right?
Yeah, kind of a rough one. Like, I'd really like to see how some other legions like planets ran.
Yeah, like
Ingron
I
didn't even
really
get a planet. They were like, no,
that shit's fun.
we're gonna
Like
send someone else.
we haven't heard of like Horus's planet like at all.
Yeah, Cathonia. I'm like, I feel like the best of all the worlds definitely has to be McCrag. It's got to be
Oh yeah,
Ultramar.
yeah, because I
Like
mean it's
those
the
people
most.
are like literally living lives,
I mean it's pretty much just Earth,
and you don't have to be a part of a cult.
Earth with water.
I know, like it's got that has to be like the best planet to live on. I'd really like to see how like Puerto Rabo's planets work out. I feel like his would be okay.
Nostromo wouldn't have been that funny there.
Nostromo would have been a bad time. It just got blown up.
You got blown up, you're probably getting raped or murdered.
Some dude murdered someone on the street, and Comic Curse was like fucking blown up. We're done. Like that shit's corrupted. Fucking kill it.
Yeah.
Like I would say, like Nocturne is cool, but not really. Like Nocturne itself
Oh shit,
sucks.
a dragon just came out of the fucking ground.
Everything
Shit.
is on fire all the time.
It's hot as fuck here.
Well, I'm sure like the planets that this salamanders like appropriate are good, but Nocturne is not a great
Yeah,
place.
fucking fuck, whatever. I don't remember the Thousand Suns one.
Prospero.
Prospero. This is fucking those bugs.
We have a really, really cool city. What if I travel to the countryside? No. They're brain eating bugs. Do we have the power of 18 legions to put down a group of bugs? Yes. Have we decided to? Priorities. Just haven't made it to the mine eating bugs yet.
Stay in Tiska, you're fine.
Exactly. Sleeman Russ goes to fight Horus, and I got really handed the guy hand. a guy who knows like how to write like stories because like we don't get a 30-minute fight between Lehman Russ and Horus.
No.
Thank God.
Yeah, agreed.
We get a really cool description of the fight. It's almost like when Nick Kime wrote the fight between Vulcan and the Great Unclean One.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, but cool. This one was the same way. It was real quick, but like as they're fighting, there's like fire spreading around the entire place because as they're hitting each other, their energy weapons are causing fires to come off of them. Badass. And that's basically the description that we get. Lehman Russ is able to successfully stab Horus, and Horus like comes to life as himself and not the War Master.
Yeah, and it's the one that's like you would see post his like battle from the warp, where it's like way older, it's like gray haired.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a cool like thing to add in there. Like you see like he obviously spent thousands of years fucking fighting in the fucking warp and came out old as fuck. Like I like that.
Yeah.
But then
I love the moment.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I love that moment because like at that point, like Horus comes out and just for like a second, Lehman Russ is like, oh, thank God. And then you have Horus, it's like that meme where he's like, no time, it's like, oh, call the doctor, but not for me, and pulls out a gun. Like,
yeah, just fucking beats the shit out of Lehman.
You get this moment where Horus is like, oh yeah, I definitely did some wrong, but I ain't no bitch, and you're gonna fucking die. I can't even remember what he says. That was just the essence.
Pretty much, yeah. And then there's like a whole big thing where all the Space Wolves are just trying to get to Lehman Russ to get him out of there.
It was a cool little scene. They literally were just throwing themselves on Horus, and Horus was just slaughtering Space Wolves.
Yeah, which it just sounds so fucking OP, but sure.
Yeah, we get to the scene where Horus follows him into the hangar, and Space Wolves are firing like las cannons at Horus.
He's absorbing the blows.
It's literally what's happening. Yeah. Bjorn is watching. It's like that's just disappearing.
Well, that don't make no sense.
Yeah, like it's the warp. The warp power is just absorbing las cannons. He's got that demon save.
So I keep rolling 2 ups. It's weird.
Wow, amazing. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so obviously they escape. We know that from Korax, the book. Although it's slightly different because they like take Lehman Ross into his fucking Medicaid. Then he wakes up. And like that was it.
Yeah, so there's a couple things that happen here, right? So they do make their way to the planet that we get in Weregold at the end of Korax. Yeah. But a couple more scenes happen there. First off, we have the one with Abaddon.
Yeah, randomly.
Yeah, Abaddon like shows up and fights Bjor.
He catches like, a bullet in midair that eats it.
He's got like crazy fucking ninja powers now. He didn't go into the warp. I don't know how he did that.
There's never even like talked about him like being even interested in like the warp entities or anything. He's just randomly like super souped up.
Yeah, it's like my hand just absorbs bolter rounds.
Yeah, so literally what happens is the Space Wolf that is the Knight Errant shoots him with a fucking obviously a bolt gun. And he just smacks it away. He's like, yeah, pussy.
Enough of this.
Everyone should sit there like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna fucking die if this guy can do that.
There's nothing we can do here. He just blocked a bullet with his hand.
I imagine the guy shoots him. He's just like, the fuck? Like, Jesus Christ. All right, man. Like, make it quick.
My hands are up.
You fucking win, I guess. You just like block bullets. Like, no, don't hit me. Blocks it with his hand. What the fuck was that? So
stupid.
Abaddon then appears at the very end to speak to Horus, and he's like, hey, the wolves are fleeing. Do you want me to chase them down? And Horus is like, yeah, but also grab the Alpha Legion and the Word Bearers and the World Eaters. But you know what they didn't mention?
Your boy in the background.
They didn't mention the Thousand Suns, which was it was like exactly what we were talking about with Vulcan not being there in the beginning. This is the part where
They
I'm like,
forgot 2 Primarchs.
did we not like meet as a writing team to be like, oh yeah, that character or that legion is also at that place that I'm about to write about?
Yeah, because especially like, I mean, I'm sure these books came out several months apart. Like, Old Earth had been probably out for a little while, and there's no
Yeah.
way there wasn't like a storyboard session with like other authors if they were somewhat entwined with the story.
Yeah. This is the sad part about this, and this is
And of
maybe
course,
I'm a
it's fucking
cynic.
Vulcan that they forget.
Well, do you think, and I could see it, do you think like Guy Haley just didn't read Old Earth?
Honestly, it's a possibility.
Do you think he's just like, I have a storyboard for my book and didn't like catch up on what's been written so far? Like he had his own.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been one of those things where like maybe his book was already written before.
What an easy edit. And also Vulcan was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say though, right? Like, we don't
Yeah,
know the time frames of like when their books are done, when they are published.
it's true. There's a lot of the writing process. I think my criticism is though, like clearly it could have been better. Like clearly there's some checks and balances that needed to be put in place. And this just goes to show again to the statement we had in the preview, like these books I just don't think are meant to be read chronologically or even as a whole, like we're doing. So like if you're a Space Wolves fan, you would read Wolfsbane. And that's how they're kind of written, I feel like.
Yeah, and the worst part is like some of these books, like it doesn't even like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel good after reading some of them. Like, this was a fine book. Like, I
Yeah,
didn't
this was
hate this
fine.
book. It actually like progressed a little bit, which thank fucking God, because
A
this is
little
what
bit.
book 48.
Oh no, we're at book 50
We're almost done.
49.
We are
Oh, we're on
almost
book
done
50.
with the horse.
Yeah, we have five books after this. So let's talk about the two things that really came out of this. First thing, and I guess important, but I don't actually think it's important that way, Heresy, is the Space Wolves are just fucking decimated.
They really
They
are.
just don't have people left. Like they already had a third of their legion. And this is a criticism I have, not just about this book, but about the entirety of the Horus Heresy, is like when it comes to numbers and statistics of army sizes, everything just seems so incredibly arbitrary.
Yes.
Like you could read about the Ultramarines being like the largest legion, but then like in the Battle of Calth, it makes it seem like they lost half of their legion. And that's what the Battle of Calth is trying to express because it's trying to make itself seem important. But then you pick up the next Ultramarine book and you're like, oh no, we're fine.
Yeah, we don't even give a shit about Cal.
Yeah, like
If we have
we
300 planets, we lost one.
lost like 1/100th of our fighting force, which just seems like so opposite of what they were trying to convey in that novel. So we get to Wolfsbane, but I also just remember reading Wolf King.
Yeah. You think about
And
how
then
more impactful No No Fear would be if it was on McCreek.
yeah, they came out with an arbitrary planet to kill an arbitrary amount of space marines.
Yeah.
And think
There's no
about
consequence.
exactly. And you have the Wolf King, and when they were battling the Alpha Legion, like it was like we're fucked. Like we've got like 13 ships left. All of our people are just fucking decimated. And Lehman Russ went separately to Terra away from his legion because they needed to repair. That's how fucking bad they were. And they got repairs from the first legion, the bad first legion. And none of that like seemed to even be a factor in this. There was no talks about Luther and the First Legion and what they were doing. There were
No,
no talks about how
there's like
decimated
one
they
like
were.
rated like snide comment about like how like Lehman and the Lion are as like brothers.
Yeah,
And it was I don't even remember it. I just remember it happening.
something with Malcador was talking about it.
Yeah.
But that's what's so frustrating is like you get into Wolfsbane and your assumption is like the Space Wolves are fucking decimated. And then for some reason they're able to like not only perform attack missions on Terra, they did 2 like successful missions, But at the same time, they're also able to lead a strike force against Horus and the Vengeful Spirit, who's surrounding himself with tons of legions and warships. It's like,
Yep.
how did they even survive like an hour?
Yeah, makes no sense.
Everything just seems so crazy. And like they
Yeah,
meet at the
also, why don't, if you know it's a suicide mission, you have this giant fucking ship. Why don't you just ram the other giant fucking ship and kill both of you?
yeah. There's a lot of pieces, like when they get to Fenris, it talks about how they have like a third of their legion.
Yeah.
Basically. And then they go into this mission and you read about like what's happening when Lemurus is fighting Hordes. It's like there's over 1,000 people in this room and they all fucking die. Horus is slaughtering them. They're getting gunned down. Like a few people retreat. They make it to the hangar and like 5 gunships take off.
Yeah, and
But
also
then you
what
get to
sucks is, like, you have
Weregold.
like big characters that like aren't even like mentioned. Like you have like Godsmoke. What the fuck happened to Godsmoke? I don't know. Scarsonson, like you mentioned in the preview. Like
Who fucking
where
knows?
are the actual named characters that we know?
Yeah. And you get to Weregold, and it's like, yeah, there's a few thousand Space Wolves left. And I'm like, what? Like, how many did we just arbitrarily kill? How many did we arbitrarily have going into this? Like, I feel so unimpacted by the Space Wolves losses because I know another author could just pick it up, and all of a sudden they're an extremely powerful legion.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no continuity with the power of the legions. It's like the writers aren't really concerning themselves with the size of the forces. Like, we even in fucking Wolf King, we had the Fallen had like 5 fucking super mega warships, like spaceships, and I'm like, when did they get that? Like, when did that happen? All of a sudden, the Fallen are now like one of the largest military infrastructures in the entire galaxy. But like 4 years
No
ago,
one
they were
knows.
just on Caliban. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is happening? It's frustrating. I think that's a frustrating part. The second thing we get at the end of this book is Horus is wounded.
Yeah.
It healed, like fully, the actual physical wound, but he's having like flashes or like mental images of something.
Yeah, it seems like not souped up Horus.
He's having
It's almost like
daydreams
a
of like
fucking,
the good Horus.
yeah, it's like he has like multi personality disorder or something.
Mm-hmm. I had read somewhere, and maybe this is still true, or maybe it's wrong entirely. I was kind of excited for Wolfsbane because what I had, the spoiler that I had given to me, was at the end of Wolfsbane, Horus dies, and
Yeah, I've
Not
heard that like
Malcador,
Horus dies like several times, but we've only seen him technically die once.
twice, if you consider Moloch when
I don't
Mortarion
consider
killed
him.
him.
What?
Yeah, Mortarion kills Horus for him to go into the warp, and then he comes back.
I don't fucking count that.
Yeah. But I heard the spoiler I heard was like Malagurst has to like sacrifice his life to bring Horus back at the end of Wolfsbane. And I'm like, none of that. Like, literally, Horus is complaining like he has a little bit of kidney pain. And he's having
Damn,
like
I haven't been
visions.
drinking enough water. Got a kidney stone.
Yes. Somebody give me some cranberry juice. This is clearly the most impactful moment in the horse actually so far. Horse is now
Stone
having to
Horus.
drink cranberry juice. He's got a bit of a kidney stone.
It all comes together.
From Isfan 5 to now, the story has progressed as much as one kidney
It
stone.
just hasn't had enough time to drink enough water. He's been so busy. How's someone's body supposed to regulate all that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I actually feel like if you really think about it, unless there's something more grievous about this wound that we read about later in either Slaves to Darkness or Heralds of the Siege or Titan Death, this story wasn't really impactful. It just removed the Space Wolves from the equation, but we already knew that that was going to happen because of Korax. So,
yeah.
And of course, maybe Belisarius' call is important in the remaining books. I just don't know. So it's hard to gauge the importance of this book to the heresy, in my opinion.
Yeah. what is your personal enjoyment?
Out of 10, I'd say this one was probably like a 6.5.
Yeah, like it's hard like when I think like this is a very average book, I think.
Very
But it's
average.
like, do I consider an average of 5? Like that seems like if I think like a grading scale, like a 50%, like doesn't seem like right. Like it,
This book is literally on par, like the exact mirror of Prospero Burns, my opinion. Like it
see, I
was
really
like
liked Prospero Bird, so
so I think it was probably better than this one. Yeah, it's a good point. I just think like Prospero Burns was weaker for me because it followed so closely after A Thousand Suns.
yeah.
So like when I think about Prospero Burns, I'm just kind of like, yeah, it was okay. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of a book that just kind of aligns with the level that this is, because I think like when I think of like No Fear, Fear to Tread, I think they're better than this book.
Fair Trade was actually good. We just
Yeah.
made it ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah, it
it
was a good book.
was ridiculous. Yeah, I would say like 6.5 is probably on par with what I think. I would
Yeah.
put this like
It's
with
better than Deathfire.
honestly like Damnation of Pythos.
That's like kind of crazy, but I agree with you. Like, I think Damnation of Pythos is like an okay book, and I think this book
Yeah.
is also okay. Um, I like it's better than books like Deathfire. It's better than like almost every single short story out there, but it's not like a novel that I enjoy. Like, it's not like Legion, and it's definitely not up there with like ADB's work.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where like I wouldn't hate my life if I had to reread it, but I would probably just not reread it.
Yep, exactly. That's what I feel about Wolfsbane. It was a good one. Like, I think Guy Haley did a good job with the story he was given, with the Space Wolves. I just think the impact was super undersold, and there's so much arbitrariness in the book and a lot of really missed opportunities. So it just kind of made the book overall like seem standalone and kind of meh.
Yeah, it is hard to kind of gauge like importance because like we knew the space whales weren't going to be there, so that kind of cuts that out. Um,
It kind of comes down to, is
and
call
does
important?
Horus's like injury ever affect him? Like if it affects him in this
Exactly.
siege, it probably bumps it up a point.
Yeah, there's two questions in my mind about where this book goes going forward. So yeah, I think it's kind of worth holding off on the importance. Like, I feel like the importance of this book is very similar to Fallen Angels, where it's like, or Descent of Angels, where it's like Fallen Angels made Descent of Angels more important.
I don't know if it made it more important, but it made it a better read.
Yes, exactly. And I think like maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll see some stuff in Slaves of Darkness. Maybe we'll see some stuff in Titan Death or even Heralds of the Siege. There's still 3 books that like could follow this with some information.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think we're going to see anything about it in Buried Dagger, and I definitely don't think we're going to see anything about it in Born of Flame. But the books in between, I think we might see some remnants of this.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll say as a placeholder, I'll just leave it at a 5, right in the middle.
I think yep, five's probably good.
All right, guys. So that is our review of Wolfsbane. As I said at the beginning, hit us up on the Discord. You can find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. You can email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. We are on YouTube. Check out our episodes there as well. Go over there, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We have merch. Check it out. Buy yourself something nice. Those are all the things. If you like contributing to the podcast, we have tips enabled on Twitter. Honestly, you can do that. Merch is probably cooler. At least you get something out of it.
Sure.
So yes, have a good one.